What is up, everybody? Thank you for checking out the Pat Out of Hell podcast. I'm your host, Patrick Christopher. Today I have Javi from Medusa Complex on the pod, man. How's it going, man?
It's going good. Thanks for having me, man.
No, thanks for coming out. We did try to do this like almost a year ago, I think, right?
I think it was like right when COVID started clearing up, or like when people were going out and doing stuff again.
Yeah, dude. So
like right in that era.
we were trying to make that happen, and then I think you said like one of your roommates might have got.
Yeah.
And so you're, I think I got to cancel on the pod, or which I get now, but like I guess we're in the clear, whatever.
It feels like that now. Thank God. Now we're able to do events and stuff like freely. I feel like there's a whole renaissance going on now with like art too. I feel like it's crazy. Like new musicians, new venues. Like there's so many new things that happen post COVID now.
I think people were kind of bummed out with the whole thing, and then like they got like inspired to like come back hard.
Yeah,
you know.
I feel that.
So let's get into it. Plugs. Anything you got to plug? What do you got to promote or anything before we jump into the episode?
So. Medusa Complex SA. We have Bandcamp, Instagram, pretty much every social media. And anywhere you can find music. We had just put a full-length LP out in November. I think it was like early November. We put out Lapel du Vide, our first full-length album. We're about to go hit up San Antonio College and record some more music and put out an EP hopefully this summer. So
dope, dude.
We got some more future stuff coming up too.
Yeah.
So Spotify, YouTube Music, all the major platform stuff. Check that out.
So the latest release, right? Did y'all record that during the pandemic?
So it was like conceptualized during the pandemic, and then we like picked it up for a second, and then once they gave us the green light for gigs again, I was like, no, we're doing gigs again.
Yeah.
Because I was like hungry for that. Like, so we gigged for maybe 6 months, did an EP release, like a proper EP release for the last one that we did during COVID, because we had done a split in the like middle of the pandemic to kind of like stay relevant while the scene was on pause and stuff. So then we did an actual release for that, and then we like started going back to the studio and recording again. But that one we did mostly in-house. Well, I was with a label, Tempe, at the time, and we recorded that in-house there, and it was a passion project, more or less. Like, it was like, I need to get this out.
Yeah.
It was like a sneeze that I needed to get out.
Yeah, for sure.
Like that. But I'm glad it's out there now.
How old is this band, Medusa Complex?
Conceptually 4 years going on, but like actually Medusa Complex, like 3. Yeah, it was like March 17th, I think was our first show, 2019.
Oh, okay.
Something like that. It was like before Pink Zeppelin. Do you know where Pink Zeppelin's at? Have you ever been there?
No.
It's like over there off Culebra and Old Grissom. Nice little venue. They do open mics there on Thursday nights. You should check it out. Yeah, it's a cool little spot.
Okay.
They're really tighten it in the DIY right now, so check out Pink Zeppelin. They were Imagine Books and Records first, and that's where we kind of got our foot in the door.
Oh, okay, yeah. So that's the same spot?
Yeah, where their location was. These guys are kind of like taking the reins. It's a bookshop, record store, and they host like DIY gigs and have people come do like poetry readings.
That's dope, dude. That's
dope. It's a cool spot. They're cool guys too. All of them are super chill.
Yeah.
Local stuff.
So you say conceptually 4 years, but only like actual 3. What does conceptually 4 years mean?
So the drummer that originally drummed with Medusa, Jared Fallon, we met up in 2018 and had like a bunch of rehearsals and stuff.
Yeah.
We never played a gig until like 2019. So we kind of like played with and we were called a different name. We were called the Delivery Boy before we were
Delivery Boy.
Yeah, so it was a little more like pop punky, especially in the earlier days. We were more on the pop punk Midwest emo side.
Yeah,
I still think we have that flavor, but we've kind of gotten more on the existential, like heavy, like shoegazy side. And
yeah,
I like the evolution, but now I'm kind of like listening to the old stuff. I'm like, I kind of want to do more pop punky stuff again. Like, life's going good, I guess. So that's the vibe right now. So yeah, I'm over my. I guess I got all the COVID stuff out of my body now with the Lapel du Vide thing. So that was good. I'm sure everyone was going through some shit.
What is that that album title, Lapel du Vide? What is?
So
what is
it
that?
means call to the void. It's Latin for like you know when you're driving on the highway and you're like, damn, that oncoming traffic looks really good.
Jeez.
That's like what it means essentially. Like when you have like you look over a cliff and you're just like, I want to jump off.
Yeah.
Like, I know everyone gets those feelings.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
That's what that means, though. It's
how scary is that that's such a common thing? You know,
it's just human nature.
I've heard that before. I've thought it before. You know, I mean, it's scary.
Intrusive thoughts.
because you do get like a little carried away. Like, oh shit, was I really just thinking that shit?
And it's like you're not actually thinking that. It's just your brain, like the idea.
Yeah,
like,
the idea is right there. That's scary.
Because you know, I think it's more of like you come to the thought of like we're insignificant. Like,
yeah,
it's a hard pill to swallow, but it's necessary. I think. Like,
yeah,
it is. That's why I like that name too, because it was very much in that time. Everyone was just facing the void. Like nobody's social interaction. You're just isolated from like humankind, pretty much. Like. Subdued to a screen. Everybody, like, I'm sure you had to do like online Zoom meetings and stuff.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
it's crazy.
And in fact, I'm just about to go back to the office. I've been working from home.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
So that's 2 years. I know, man. Now they're making us go full time back to the office, and I'm like, shit. Do I even want to work here anymore?
You're like,
dude?
is this worth it?
Yeah, dude. Because that sucks, man. Like. I don't know what you do for work, but like just like being able to roll out of bed and then just clock in and just start working, dude. Yeah. Such a fucking nice thing.
I did sales for a little bit, and it was literally I would just not even dressed up because we were just on the phone and stuff.
Yeah,
like, I'd be in my underwear on my computer.
Yeah, for sure.
Making calls and making money on my computer right there. But then like I don't know. I am a social creature. As introverted as I am, I have to get out. That's why I have to like play gigs. That's my only social interaction that I like get besides like work and stuff.
Yeah.
So other than that, I'm in my like storage unit just jamming, like playing music or like screen printing or something. Those are like all that consumes my time.
Yeah.
Everything else.
That's pretty dope, man. So how long have you been playing music? Like, what do you remember?
2016, I started like. Well, I've been a singer all my life. Like I've sang for like, I was an acapella and like
really?
All that stuff. Like a little choir thing growing up.
Like through church or school or like.
It was school and like then they like. I was one of the better like vocalists, I guess. So they put me in special edition, which is like the little bit more elevated acapella.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where I was like. It taught me how to breathe correctly, so now I know how to scream correctly.
Yeah.
It taught me a lot of good technique. And I never wanted to play an instrument. I just wanted to be a front man. Like, you know Chino Moreno, like, I love his, like, energy on stage. I want that. I wanted to do that type of stuff, like, just where I could run around, whip the mic around, and do stuff like that. But then when I moved up here, because I'm not from here, I'm from West Texas.
Oh, okay.
So I moved up here in 2016 and was like, I guess I got to learn how to play the guitar now. Like, if I want to do a gig, like, I could go just read poetry or sing acoustic or like a cappella, but who wants to do that?
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Guitar accompaniment is like way more, people can digest that easier, I feel like. So I learned acoustic. I learned all the basic, like, Ain't No Sunshine, like all those like open chord songs. I'm like, hey, this is kind of chill. I kind of like playing the guitar now. Yeah. Then I got obsessed with it, and when I was going to college, I would have 4 hours at school. It was like from like 2 to like 6 or something like that. I'd wake up at 11 p.m. or 11 a.m. and just jam from 11 till I had to go to college. Like, dude, I learned so much. I'd just be on YouTube, like, how to do math rock chords, like, how to do all these weird, intricate. I'd buy like chord books and just find the hardest chord and be like, I'm gonna learn that today. I think it worked out in my favor.
No, for sure, man. Because when you said you just started playing in 2016, that's not a long time. And like a lot of the stuff that you write, and a lot of the stuff that's on the album, and even the videos that I've seen, you're doing the finger like
tappy stuff.
Yeah, dude. Like usually, like I've been playing since I was like 8, but like you kind of really.
It's
new
crazy because then I see people who have jammed since they're like 8, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm like out of my element. Like people who know theory and stuff, I admire that so much. Like,
yeah, dude,
super crazy because that's like. They devote their lives to that. Like,
yeah,
it's badass. It's a craft for sure.
Like, before I got into comedy, I was playing drums. I was doing like 2 decades of like pursuing music and stuff.
No shit.
Yeah,
that's
dude.
What's up.
I lived in Austin, lived in Seattle, did a couple of tours out of Seattle and stuff. I mean, like, I'm here doing comedy now, so that's.
Yeah,
that's what
it's a cutthroat industry, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I was saying because playing drums, I started doing that. I didn't get good until high school when I joined the marching band, and but like before that, years of just fucking noise, dude.
But that's where you like get into it, like because you're passionate about it at that point. Then in high school, where you're learning, like you're like, now I'm gonna learn technique. Like I'm gonna learn how to get into it and learn the structure of it. And stuff.
The fundamentals and stuff. Because like before, I was just like just noise. Dude. It's so unbelievable how like my mom made me like let me play.
That's how you know you got good parents, man. That's cool as fuck, dude.
We lived in an apartment, and I still had a drum set, and they let me play.
That's badass.
Yeah, dude, pissing off all the neighbors, pissing them all up, but they couldn't tell us
let him
shit.
do his thing.
Yeah, dude.
This cat's cooking.
Hella supportive, dude. Hella supportive. But it took me years before it even like made sense, before it actually made sense what I was doing. So to see like, oh yeah, I picked it up in 2016 because that's not that long ago. So but you said hours and hours of just.
I was in there like in the hyperbolic time chamber. Dude. Like, but I also was surrounded by a bunch of great musicians helping me out too and stuff. So that was like another reason I think I learned so much in such a short amount of time. Yeah, the influences like. The scene here is crazy. Like, there's so many good local bands. It blows my mind. I'm just like, give it 5 more years. These bills are going to be like touring bills and stuff. Yeah. Like, it's cool to see the drive out here. And then in the comedy scene, too, y'all hustle. Like,
well, there's not a lot. There's not a lot of rooms. There's not a lot of places and stuff. So, like, it's. Yeah, you have to hustle.
Anytime there's an open mic, you're just like, boom, I'm there.
Yeah, every night. I'm out every night because.
So do you hit like multiple places in one night, or like?
We don't really have that situation. Like in Austin, there's like 3, 4 spots. Here, it's 1 spot a night, maybe 2 if you're lucky. Or if you're doing a show, you'll do a show and then you go do the mic or vice versa and stuff. So like you have to get it because like. Comedy is unlike music. Music, you rehearse at home. Yeah. You put it together at home. And then when you're writing with the band, you're like, okay, well, now we're going to practice these songs. And then you can practice, and then go do the show. And you already have the product there. Comedy doesn't work like that, man. Like, you have to rehearse in front of these people. You can write it out.
That sounds that just gave me, like, a chill thing.
Yeah, dude, I'll run my set in the shower. I was like, oh, this is gonna fucking kill. And then I go on stage and I do the same thing that I did in the shower, and it's just like crickets. I was like,
yeah, because you don't know how people's gonna react to it. Yeah, like, something that's funny to you could be so completely unfunny to somebody.
Yeah, else. For sure, man.
That's wild. Yeah, and then you have to know how to like riff off people, improv, like hecklers. I'm sure are a thing. Like,
yeah, whatever. For sure. And it takes a while. It takes a while to get like really good. So even when I tell people like new comics. People get on the scene and they just like they do the first open mic. Okay, now book me for your shows. I was like,
chill out,
dude. It doesn't work like that. Yeah. And I tell people like doing comedy. This is how I see it. It's like learning guitar. Like sure, I learned a chord, but nobody's gonna pay to see me play this chord. One chord. Now I need to learn how another chord. Now I need to know
because an open mic is usually like how long? A minute? You get 1 minute? Or?
Some are 3 minutes, some are 5 minutes, some are 7 minutes.
That's a lot of material. And see, I feel like for someone to do 5 minutes and then be like, book me, it's like you got 45 minutes of material to just go up there and
it's so wild how delusional a lot of these people are.
I see that too, man. That's like, I don't understand it. I'm like, get your feet wet first. Like,
Yeah.
have a crash, have a bad set first, and
Yeah.
then see how you feel afterward. Because I feel like that's a big make or break. People only like count their blessings, and like you got to remember like the humbling times.
Yeah,
like,
dude. You have
when
to,
you like played to nobody, or like when. But how did you react to that? Like that's the
Yeah.
other main, because we've played to empty, like, I mean, in the span of those 3 years, yeah, you have to play to empty crowds or like whatever. Do your thing. I just think of it like now we're rehearsing with like a sound guy.
Yeah.
Like, we're doing it now. Whatever, cool. Because when we did our first little like tour thingy
Okay.
last November, and we played in Houston, and it was kind of a cool turnout. But it's like essentially we're playing to just all the other bands that are
Yeah.
local or whatever, and thank God it was cool. I was grateful for it, whatever. But I'm just like, like that's what happens. That's a humbling moment right there. You're so in your local scene, and the second you step out, you're like nobody knows who we are.
Yeah.
Like we are so out of our like pond. This is a completely new thing. Like. And people don't realize that. They get comfortable with that one time, the one good time, and it's like you gotta rep it out.
Nah, man. And then like with music's so like you have to tour. Like nobody, it's really hard to discover new bands maybe through social media. You know,
Yeah.
it's all word of mouth.
And then it's
maybe.
usually a gimmicky thing at that point.
Yeah.
Usually.
So I mean, you have to tour and you have to do that stuff, and even though you're going to Houston and you're playing just in front of the other bands, there's still people listening to the music.
They're gonna recommend that to whoever.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah.
Even though they do what you do, they can still be a fan of what you do.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And it's a little different. Like at the open mics, you just pretty much sometimes, a lot of times, it's just other comics that are in the room. It's very rare that there's an audience. So I mean, like it's not the same thing as with the band thing. You know, it's a
Yeah.
whole separate thing for sure. But you have to get used to like doing the thing in front of the same people. How long was that tour that y'all did?
It was, I think we did 3 dates. We did Houston, Denton, and San Marcos. And then, yeah, it was just those 3.
Yeah.
Denton was crazy, man. Their scene's really cool over there. Like, a bunch of people, we played a Howling Mutt, like in this little breezeway in between 2 little, like, buildings. And it's a little college town, too, so, like, this whole little gaggle of college students, they're like, dude, we heard y'all from the street and came in. I was like... See, so stuff like that. Those are the moments where it's like, okay, that empty house was worth this type of stuff. Like,
No, for sure.
I'm cool with this now. Like, so it's like a give and take, whatever. But just playing in a different city in general is like an honor. Like, that's so much fun. Playing anywhere, honestly.
And for sure, and like touring in Texas, I mean, you could just do that for a while.
Oh,
you know,
dude,
like
for sure, it's so huge, and that's kind of what our idea is of just like getting known in the local Texas scene, because I feel like we've gotten our shoes like filled here in San Antonio, so we kind of want to start branching out. We played Austin the 13th. That was pretty cool. South by is just clusterfuck, man. It's just so much shit, man. Like driving downtown, we were like carrying our gear and like merch downtown. People were like, "Where are y'all playing?" Like, y'all aren't gonna come. Why are you asking me? Like. And I would tell them where we're going, and of course they didn't show up. Like we're like, I should have had like flyers to hand out or whatever.
Yeah.
Next year I'll be more prepared for sure. But it's like some people go out to that thing loaded to the gills, like ready, knowing what to do, because it's like that's their playground every year, and I'm like, I gotta get to that level where I know what I'm doing on the strip.
And it must have been so insane because like it was South by Southwest was canceled for like 3 years, right?
Yeah, dude.
So this was the first year back in 3 years.
Everyone's just trying to get their fill on it. Like, oof.
Yeah, dude.
It's crazy. I was driving. There were people walking in front of my car, behind my car, like all around me. And I'm like, I need to turn.
Yeah.
Like, dude, it was so nerve-wracking. But we had fun. It was a cool venue, too. The Flamingo Cantina. It was like right there on 6th Street.
Yeah, dude.
That was cool getting to play on 6th Street. Yeah, we're hitting the studio these next 2 weeks to record for this EP, and then we're playing at UTSA in May for like I think it's like their orientation stuff, or they're doing like the end of the year, like you know how they have the end of the year stuff, over there for the school. But yeah, I want to do another tour soon. Try to figure that all out.
Yeah.
It would be cool. Have you ever like gone to like Kill Tony or anything out there in Austin? Or like
I did Kill Tony when they were here in San Antonio.
Oh, they were based here? Like
no, like they would go on the road too. They would take their show on the road, and they were at Laugh Out Loud. That was actually like my 25th time going on stage. And I was a huge fan of the podcast before, and then I got called up last. Did pretty good for being my 25th time on stage, sold out crowd and stuff. And then they do this thing where they'd have the Mexican drum off back when they had the band. And so they were about to wrap up, and I was just like, I also play drums, you know.
Oh, shit.
And
you were like, throw me on.
Yeah. So I got to do like obviously Joel Jimenez won. I mean, he's an awesome drummer, and I was rusty as shit. But it was just cool like to be a part of that shit.
Yeah. You're like, I got to do that shit.
I got to do that. And then when they moved to Austin, I've only been out to like the Kill Tony maybe twice. But I didn't get called back up again. But I mean, that thing is a great opportunity. I mean, they Brian Redband, he books people off of that show.
And that's a good way for exposure too. Like, they do that.
And that's what it is. I mean, you have to like find a way in. And I hate to do that. Like, I'm going to cling onto their followers. Yeah. Just to hope that I get a bump.
Dude, you have to. It's like help homies out. Like, it's just another reason why we do splits. It's like, we already have similar sound. We have a similar following of people. Let's just fucking combine.
Yeah.
Stuff. Like, let's just. You already sound dope. We sound dope. Like, let's just make a dope ass record out of it. Like, that's kind of how because my favorite bands do that stuff. Title Fight did that shit.
Yeah.
Fucking like, there's so many bands that Joyce Manor like had those ideas to like punk splits. It's like split the cost, split the glory with everybody.
For
like, it's
sure,
just a
man.
good time, because our last split show that we did, so much fun, dude. And it's like everybody is enjoying it because they're like, we're all releasing a record together, so everyone can be excited about it. And it was during the pandemic too, the first time that we released it, so we just had a listening party still. Like, we had a couple people from the bands come over and like whatever, we just chilled, drank, and like listen to the album.
Yeah.
It's just cool shit like that. Like, music is a language, and I will always I gotta respect it. I gotta respect the music gods or whatever. Like, it's crazy.
It's cool, man. It's cool. It's a beautiful thing. Like, I don't really, I'm so out of touch with like the local scene, you know, because if I have the night off, like I'm gonna go do comedy or something.
Yeah, absolutely. That's your hustle.
And then like, and even now, like, it sucks. I have to schedule time because I'm married. I have to schedule time to have date night with the wife. You know, like, she's hella supportive. She lets me go out. I mean, sometimes she'll bust balls every now and then and stuff.
I mean, most got to.
Yeah. So like, and it sucks, man. Like, I see all these shows like coming to town, and I see like, I've been wanting to check you out. I haven't seen y'all live yet. But it's just like, I can't do that. I got a gig.
Yeah.
I gotta do this.
No, and that's complete. And that was another thing. I wanted to like bridge that gap.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to start having comedians MC like local gigs. Because
really,
that would give an opportunity for like local comedians to get exposure towards the local scene.
Yeah.
And then they can start like, hey, that guy was really funny. I want to go catch his set when he's playing so-and-so or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, pre-COVID, MCing was kind of like a normal thing, and now they don't do that. Like, they used to have a person over the mic, or like someone go up like, that was so-and-so. I forgot I had a microphone in my hand already. It's like, that was the band that just played. So like, give it up for, you know, like they would always have like someone who would like introduce the band or whatever type like that. So I kind of wanted to do something like that where anyone, because I met a comedian in Austin the other day when we played there. We went and skated this ditch, and he's like, yeah, I'm a comedian, I'm trying to like get out of Austin or whatever. And I was like, dude, come MC a show sometime. And then after that I was like, why did I even tell him that? That would be badass though. And I was like, I should fucking like start doing more of it, because it would be cool like just to have that little bridge. Then y'all could come and see the shows and see what's going on in the scene.
Yeah, dude.
'Cause I know Zach was, like I was saying, he was hustling. Like I went one night with him and we hit Tandem and
Oh, really?
what was that other place? It wasn't the Blind Tiger. It's the other ones. They got like a big blue. I can't remember the name of it. But we hit like 2 spots that night. And it was just crazy seeing people like local comedians. That was the first like glimpse at that I ever had seen. And it's funny because it's like the same thing with local bands. You see the people who practice and you see the people who like have barely. This is their first night going up or whatever. It's funny. Like this guy his whole set was him just yelling. Like I guess he was trying to be like Chris Rock or something.
Yeah.
But he missed the mark completely. And he was just being loud into the microphone and like seeing people crash on stage I think is funnier when they have a good
because
set.
like nobody realized how hard it is. I mean, like like people want to be like Chris Rock. Chris Rock makes it look so easy.
He's got cadence though. Like, there's so much that goes into that.
There's so much like people don't really grasp that. Like you have to build from something. It don't just like it's not a switch. It doesn't just turn on.
Yeah, you don't just be loud and people like funny loud person. Like no, you have to actually like. There's timing. There's like. So much what you're saying has to make sense. Like, I don't know.
That's cool. But like that whole MC thing, that sounds bad. But like it sounds cool. I like the idea of it, but like it has to be. I know some comics that have toured with like I had Neil Rubenstein on. He just got done touring, opening up for Motion City Soundtrack.
Oh, that's tight.
So he would go and do 15 minutes before the band. I was like, that's insane.
Yeah.
That sounds so scary, because everybody's there to see music.
Yeah,
and then you get what's the deal with farts? Like, oh Jesus. But he said he had a blast. He said like he enjoyed it. He's actually going to do what is it? Adjacent Fest in Atlantic City. Huh. He's the only comedian. A list of bands: Paramore, Blink-182, like the Turnstile, all these bands.
Oh
he's
shit!
He's doing comedy in front of like this festival crowd. I was like, what the hell are you doing?
That's pretty cool though, man. Like I feel like that's cool because whether people realize it or not, like. Everyone who's into like DIY, they appreciate comics too.
Yeah.
Like that, like comedy is one of those things. I just don't think they know that there's actively people trying to like be comedians. Like
yeah, man. Like
because it's tough to like break through that little like.
I accidentally found out about the comedy open mic scene because I was looking for people to jam with. So open mics, they would have like the back line. So all you got, like the drums is there, the amps are there. You just bring your sticks, bring your whatever. So that's how I was just looking for people to jam with. And then like I was looking up and they're like, comedy? People do comedy at this thing? Oh, is that how comedy works? Is that what open mics
This
are?
is what these guys are doing?
Yeah,
that's
dude.
Crazy.
Yeah, so just trying to pursue one thing, I started, getting into that, and then.
Do you still jam at all? Or
I have a drum set, and again, it's just time. Like what's that rehearsal spot? The Woodshed, a dope place.
Oh yeah,
I love that place.
Great,
but. You have to plan and schedule your time and stuff.
Yeah.
So if I wake up one morning, I was like, I don't have nothing to do for the next couple hours, and I go to this site, booked.
Yeah, it's like you have to book like days ahead.
Yeah. But
that's why I like having the storage unit. Like it's good. Like this is cool. This studio space is super dope. I wish we had something more like this so we could like treat it with sound and stuff. Because we're essentially playing like a tin can. Like, but we treated it enough with like blankets and we have some soundproofing, but like it's cool to have that liberty where because I live like 5 minutes away and my roommate has a son, so he'll be like watching him sometime. Like I can't just play my amp at full volume right now. I'm gonna go down the road and just get it out of my system real quick and just like. Yeah, it feels good. So.
It's good to have a spot like that too, because like, say if you're at home, like you'll get distracted, you'll be doing like home stuff. So like you have to go to a different location to just focus on that.
It's
like
a studio
sometimes
space.
Sometimes I'll just come here, even if I'm home with podcasts, I'll come here and just write because I won't write at home. You know,
because you'll be like, oh fuck, I gotta feed the dog.
the dog is there, my TV's there. You know, like
get distracted real quick.
Yeah, you have to like. There's a business point, there's a home point, and all that stuff. So it's a good idea to keep it separate and stuff.
Nah,
but yeah, and I used to rehearse in tin can storage units and stuff. Oh, it sucks, but it's fucking fun.
It is. You just get to let it out, man. That's like the best part about it. Just that's a cool thing with art in general. We were like talking about this the other day, like complete other tangent. Someone was talking about how they can't sing, and I was like, shut up. Like anybody can sing, anybody can dance. Like if you're bad at it, you have the ability to be better at it.
Yeah.
Like it sucks that these basic human things that we're, dude, like over the pantheon of humankind, people have been singing and dancing and writing music and art and like jesters are comedians. Like that's been around for like, and they were influential satire like to the kingdom. Like it's just crazy that nowadays people think you have to have this, like it's a skill now.
Yeah.
It's like, no, this is part of being human. Creating, crafting, doing artistic things is like part of our human nature. Like who cares if you're not good at it? Do that shit. You think Native Americans were good at just yodeling to like the fucking sun god? Like they didn't give a shit. Like who cares? Do whatever. Like the sun's gonna explode anyways. Or
for sure.
Do whatever the fuck you want. I don't know. Tangent over on that.
No, that's pretty dope. That's pretty dope because like all you just do it. It's not like, oh, you were born to do this. Like some people they do have that natural born talent and stuff. But you could like anybody like work at it. Just work at it.
If you want it, get that shit. Like that's all it is, man. Like, and that's where I'm like, I see it's admirable. I see how much time you put into like your podcasts, your hustle and stuff. That's where I'm like, hell yeah. Like I know you're about it. And I see other people in the scene and it gets me hyped. I'm just like, good shit. It's cool.
No, man, it's nice to inspire, like even with the music scene, you know, like I'm pretty sure a lot of people look at your band, they're like, man, I want to be like that, you know.
It blows my mind. Like this one time we played and there was like a little group of people like waiting for us afterward, and they're like, can you sign our CD? Can you sign? And I was like, dude, that was like one of those moments where I was actually like holding tears back, where I'm like, oh my god, these people like are listening to us. Like they are genuinely engaged with what we're doing and stuff. And this person like, can I take a photo with you? And I was like, yeah, I guess. Like that's so sure weird. It's just weird that is a thing. It
is pretty dope because like for as an audience perspective, they see you doing something that they think, oh, I couldn't do that.
Yeah,
I couldn't get on that stage. I couldn't play that guitar. I couldn't sing that song.
And that makes me so sad. I'm just like, you can.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that people are like actively supporting local music and art like that, because it's just crazy to see that sometimes. Like even whenever it's like just a local DIY show and people pull up crazy like that, I'm just like, what? Y'all really got nothing better.
Yeah, dude.
I'm glad.
No, it's dope when people come out, because I think about the same thing. Like Tuesday, LOL is their open mics, and every Tuesday there's a crowd, and I was like, what are y'all doing?
That's badass.
You know, it's such a risk because, like, again, open mic, anybody could go up. All you gotta do is like, well, there's a bucket, you gotta get picked and stuff, but it could be their first time, their 100th time, last time, whatever, and people are there to see it. I was like, what is going on?
What side of town is that on?
Park North, right here off of North Star.
That's the cool thing about it too, is like there's so many subsects of San Antonio where it's like you have to play in each, or like do your set in each like part of town to get noticed in those areas and stuff like that. That's what I'm saying. Check out Pink Zeppelin. They're like the northwest side of things, so it's like there's a whole nother side. Like it's crazy. When we play downtown, I know who the people are that are gonna pull up, or when we play the north side, I know who's gonna pull up. Like, it's like those locals to that area or whatever. Like they're like, oh, it's gonna be a 5-minute drive for me. Of course, I'll pull up to this show. Or like when it's out of the way, of course, when we play down on the strip, people are gonna pull up no matter what because they like to get drunk on St. Mary's for whatever reason. And I'm just like, all right, Paper Tiger is like fun, but I hate St. Mary's, dude. Like the parking is
just the parking alone. Yeah.
Oh my god, there's always so much construction. It's like I have to just go and run see if my car's not towed every like 10 minutes. I'm like, is it still there?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I can go like chill for another 30 until I have to run back.
But you're always thinking like, is it there?
Yes, dude.
Are the windows busted?
Is my gear still in there? Like,
dude.
oh my god, it's scary, man. I had some homies, they lost all their gear. Like,
I've had band members that lost gear too.
I would go postal, dude. Like, I don't know what I would do. It's like my worst fear.
Yeah, dude. It sucks because like you invest and then you have to with pedals. You got to try stuff.
Exactly.
Guitar. I mean, you found the situation that fits
Works,
you.
yeah.
You put it together, and then some asshole busts a window and fucking takes your shit.
Your life.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, dude. Oh, if someone took my guitar, that guitar is like so sentimental to me at this point. That's why I want to retire it. I don't want to play it anymore, because if I did lose it, if it breaks, fine. I could just whatever, glue it together, hang it up, retire it, give it its fucking proper burial or whatever. But if someone stole it and I lost it, I would lose it. I would snap, dude, because that was my first guitar that I ever jammed on, toured with, fucking so many milestones with that thing. So it's like, it scares me even thinking about that. Man, nobody steal my guitar. Just like, oh my god, I love that thing. It's so badass.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like that gear. Like, do you have a favorite mic that you use? That is that?
No.
Like, this is my pride.
This is my pride and joy. That is funny though, because like, when I do run a show at the Tiger, when I'm on my show, I'll take my own mic and I'll plug in my own mic because just aesthetically, I just like the way it looks for pictures and stuff. I don't know, it's weird.
I feel that. Nah, yeah, you got your like special one. You're like, all right, someone's taking photos tonight. I'm gonna look badass.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a question I gotta know. Before you do a set, are you like, I gotta get dripped up before? Are you like, I'm gonna put on the outfit and stuff? Is that like, dude, I always have to like wear something that I'm like, this looks cool. I'm gonna wear something cool. Like, I don't know why. I just like have to. I feel like it's like part of the aesthetic.
I usually wear the same thing: black shirt, black hat. The only thing I switch up is my shoes. I have show shoes.
He's like, I got the little.
Yeah. That's the only thing that pops out. Even though like nobody can see my shoes, to me, I'm just like, these are my show shoes.
Yeah, I'm on cloud 9 right now.
Yeah, dude. And then after the gig, I'll take them out, put them back in the box, and I'll see you next show.
Oh shit! Yeah.
And then after a while, like they just become regular shoes and stuff. But
then you get another pair.
My next show shoes.
Adorn the new ones.
Yeah, like, dude.
Hell yeah. That's funny. It's a cycle. That's funny.
For sure, man. Jesus. So your next this last release, was there a theme to it? Like all the songs, or is it just a collection of songs that just so fit together?
It was kind of like a little bit of both, I guess, because there's a lot of those songs from that I was writing when I moved here first in 2016.
Okay.
And those were very much about like isolation and stuff already, because I didn't know anybody when I moved up here. Like, I was barely going to school, barely getting into like going to shows, learning, like meeting people and stuff. Like, it was like I hit the reset button, which was a good thing, and also like a scary giant like leap from. I was in this West Texas area, very tight-knit neighborhood community that was like everyone knows each other, like family-owned stuff. Like, everyone is very cool with each other.
Yeah.
There's just no growth there. Like, as far as music or like anything like that goes, if you're not playing country or you're not painting like windmills and shit, they don't care about your craft. It's not like I couldn't be doing this stuff over there and it wouldn't get received the same way at all.
Okay.
So like, it's kind of where I was like, I'm gonna go be an animator. That was my main thing. I went to school for animation, so I came up here to become an animator. I got my degree in animation or whatever, but like all of that time in between, I was putting being an animator on the back burner to start jamming. But all the stuff I was learning in school was like helping me with like merch like doing promotional videos, like all the content that we can make and stuff was possible because I was learning so much stuff in like Illustrator, Photoshop, and like After Effects.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was just a perfect storm of shit like going on. And yeah, I feel like being alone, like I had my 2 good friends that I moved up here with.
Okay.
But I didn't know. I just was so like, I want to be out there playing music, but how do I do that? How do I get out there? And it's like, I did an open mic, or it wasn't an open mic, it was like a talent show at my school, but like it was an art school, so I didn't think anyone would really care. I was scared, and I was doing really corny acoustic, like, you know, Front Porch Step, or like that whole, like I was doing stuff like that where it was just acoustic, whiny. And I didn't even stay for the judging. I left immediately. I was like, I'm scared. I'm going home. I don't want to hear what they say or whatever. Like, so I left. I got 3rd place. I came to school on Monday, and some chick was like, I got a video of you playing. Like, you did great. Like, it's on YouTube, this, and that. And I was like, she's like, yeah, you got 3rd place, but you left. And I was just like, oh, cool. Like, I was so frightened. I didn't think because like people were clapping, but in my head I'm just like, they hate this.
Yeah,
this is
dude.
Awful. Like
I respect the shit out of that. I respect the shit. Like for you, you're just like, oh, that was so bad, but people actually enjoyed it. I like that humbleness about like people. You know, I hate like people like, oh, I fucking murdered, I fucking killed.
Dude.
They enjoy. They got blessed with my songs and all that shit. Like,
hate that
you know,
shit,
man.
dude. I'm like, no, like. So it was a breath of fresh air to hear that it was received well by these people. So it was just like, maybe I can start jamming with people. And that was kind of where there's this thing called Vamper. It's kind of like Tinder for band members. Sort
Really?
of. Yeah, like you like make an account, you put what you play or like your specialty and stuff, and
that's fucking rad, dude.
And that's how I met my homie Brandon. They were in the Frog and Bandit, and I tried out playing bass for them and stuff. And I ended up not playing with them, but I got like super tight with them, and I started going to all their shows, just meeting a bunch of super cool people, and like it's how I met my drummer and eventually my bassist and stuff. So it was just getting out of that. I was writing about all of that stuff at that time. And then during the pandemic, I felt like I hadn't touched that stuff in a minute, and then it kind of resurfaced back because it was relatable again. I was in that rut again. I was like, we're all like isolated into our homes doing this or whatever. Social distancing was a single that we put out. I wrote that during the pandemic, and that was kind of like straight about what was going on. But then thematically, I was just like, all of this can go together as an LP. And I've been wanting to I feel like that's every band's goal, or should be goal, to like put a full-length album out. So that was kind of where I was like, we've done 2 EPs. We've released a handful of singles. Like the next leap is our full length. And like, I still consider it a demo. Like, I would definitely go back and like redux it or whatever, but I have a hard copy. Like, if a label were to come to me, or if somebody, like some exec or whatever, was like, hey, do you have an album? Absolutely, I got a fucking album.
Yeah.
Like, it's reference material more or less, but people are enjoying it. I enjoy it. I like where it sounds. I think we can do better, obviously, in the future, especially with our new lineup that we have right now. Like, Melvin's our bassist. He's fucking godsend. Love that boy. That's my homie right there. And our new drummer, Jaden. Oh, my God. He just, like, adds to the sound so much.
Were they on this last record?
No, so the last record was Carlos Jimenez. He was helping me run Temp A. He was doing the drums on that one. Melvin did bass on it, but it was just like, that's where I'm saying it's kind of more or less like we were trying to put it out, get it out there. The concepts are out there and done.
Yeah.
And we have the songs finished. We jam them. I think the live versions are obviously way better because, like, our presence on stage, I think, is like a factor when it comes to it. Like, we jam hard. I try to jam hard. We like play live and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think that's another reason people are engaged to the music, because they see like how much we give a shit about this stuff. Because like I tell my drummer and my bass all the time, like, I would be dead without this stuff. Like, music is that important to me. Like, it's just, I owe it to I owe my life to this craft and to art in general. Like, it's just, it's done so much. Like, it's crazy.
Nah, for sure.
Yeah, it's wild. But, like, I don't think people put that type of stuff into consideration of, like, we're putting our hearts on our sleeves and like hoping people
like
give
you
a shit.
act cool, like, oh, it's just some tunes.
Yeah,
we were just having some fun, but no, man, like it is my life's work right now. You know, this is all I'm about right now. You know, but you still gotta act like it's just we're just having fun.
That's why it's like it's funny because whenever people are like, "Aren't you gonna introduce your band or whatever?" and I'm like, "Dude, it's just my band. Like, I don't want to like blow it up out of proportion because don't get me wrong, I love this shit, but like." I'm not doing it for the clout. I'm not doing it for the money. I'm not doing it for like. I'm doing this for my mental health. Like at the end of the day, I feel like that's what it should be. Like it's cheaper than therapy. I say it's cheaper than therapy.
No, for sure.
At the end of the day, I feel like a therapist might be cheaper than doing this shit, but it's funner than therapy. I'll say that.
It's a therapy in itself for sure.
It's catharsis for sure. Like
it's not a replacement for sure.
Yeah, it's a good point. There you go.
Yeah.
But I love it, and I would not have it any other way. Like I love doing merch. I love selling the records and shit. It feels bad taking money from people sometimes. I'm just like, fuck.
Yeah. But I mean, that's how they're showing appreciation.
Yeah, it's support.
For it, you know, and it's a beautiful thing. Like sometimes you just have to let people love you.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, it's tough.
It is a tough thing. Like I don't trust it. You know.
Well, it's funny because whenever someone comes and buys merch, the second I see them pull cash out, I'm like, okay, they're making a transaction. I'm giving them a deal. Like I'll give them a shirt. Do you have a CD? No. Here's a CD too. And they're like, well, how much is the CD? And I'm like, no, you're good. But then they end up still paying for the CD too. And I'm like, I'm trying to give you free shit. But they just want to support.
Yeah.
Like, that's where it like comes down to. And it's, for me, I'm just like, why won't you let me give you free stuff?
Yeah.
Like, why won't you let me give you money? And
they're like, you know, this is a business, right? You know that you own your own company right here. You're really not doing good for business if you're giving shit away.
Exactly. So I'm like, I'm glad they're there to save my ass because I would just be giving my shit away at the end of the day.
Nah, for sure. Yeah.
Support. That's why I love the local. Like they're so down.
Yeah.
Cool.
And also if somebody pays for something, they're gonna care for it a little bit more. You know, like I had like sticker packs, and I was just like, I would give them away. You know, like, oh, if you want a sticker, you know, whatever, just so it has my Instagram on it, whatever. So people that paid it, obviously they're gonna keep it. I paid money for this stuff.
I didn't even think of it like that.
If I've given a sticker away, I've seen them in the parking lot on the way to my car. Like they just threw it out, like because they didn't care. They didn't invest anything. They're not losing anything. It's just pretty much like here, you throw this away from me, type of thing. And I was
here's
like,
your piece of trash now.
Yeah. And there's nothing more heartbreaking than seeing something that you've given somebody on the floor.
Because it's like, I'm thinking of it now how you said it. Like anytime I purchase something, this is gold to me now.
Yeah.
Like even if it's like a $5 something like that,
it's something,
a cassette or some shit. I'm just like,
it means more.
Yeah, I've never even like. I always think like free shit because I like people love free shit, but it's just I got it for nothing.
Yeah.
It's nothing if I lose
lost
it.
If you lose it, you know.
It's like this is monetary value now. Like especially with something like I like to make our shirts collectible shirts, I guess, because
like limited edition.
Yeah, that's one thing I feel like bands are like missing a mark on here is like, well, how many of your favorite bands just do the same logo over and over and over again? It's like, no, they always, every tour they have a new run of merch, or every gig it's like, this is the new gig merch or whatever. So I try to keep our merch as fresh as possible, and there's some that we've done where it's like, we're never doing this one again. We only did 25 of these shirts. If you buy it, that's it. Like, you're never.
I like that idea, but it's also a bummer because, like, say for me, I just found y'all, but I want that shirt that you put out
we're
3
gonna
years
do
ago.
more stuff like that. So then it's
Yeah.
cool though, because when I see people wearing those shirts, I'm like, you were at that show.
Yeah,
Like, I can tag.
You can timestamp them. Like, oh, you've been
Exactly.
with us since the
For that
beginning.
one. So we have a homie.
That is pretty dope.
Easton Rowe. We're doing a show for him March 25th. Super active dude in the DIY scene. He just gives back to local, and it's great. So we want to do this dope show for him. But it's like guys like him, since 2019, he's been around. Like, he saw us, I'm sure, at Imagine or at like one of the local spots, and he has like our first run of merch we ever did, and he still wears it to like the gigs and stuff. And I'm like, dude, I haven't seen that shirt in forever. Like, it's been years or whatever. It's just cool to see that like piece of time. Like, it's memorabilia now. It's like a collector's shirt or whatever. I don't know.
That is pretty dope, man.
It's fun.
What's funny, like you mentioned something how like your live show or your live performance of the songs from this last album are a whole lot different with that live aspect. I wonder, like you know how like comedy they do specials.
Yeah.
You ever think about like recording the live thing and like releasing that as a thing, like visually too, and not just like the audio, you know, like the live performance of that.
You know Audio Tree? Like, have you ever seen any of those?
Yeah.
So yeah, I wanted to do something like that where it's like
in studio.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that would be so sick because it's just like a way to capture the essence and the sound at the same time.
Is it though? Because there's no crowd there.
See, and that's fine with me.
Okay.
It would be cool if there would be a crowd there, but I feel like when it comes to recording it, if I wanted a live studio version of it, you'd have to put into consideration the over like lapping of the crowd into the mix and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If we had a live like version of us just playing in the studio, because I think that's what we're gonna be doing when we go play at SAC, because it just makes it sound so much more organic in my opinion. Like, we usually would do track for track where we're going like, okay, section this, section that, and it's cool. It makes it sound nice and clean and produced or whatever, but like, I listen to like fucking Captain Jazz and like all these like old obscure bands where they're like, okay, put the mic on, we're like playing it, we got one chance.
One take,
That's
one
my
take,
shit.
yeah.
I love that stuff because it's just so raw. You can't do it again. It's like a complete, you're capturing lightning in a jar type thing.
Yeah, for sure.
And if we had a one live set where it's like you get 30 minutes for us to record you on these badass mics and you get one chance, we're going to capture all your fuck ups if you mess up or like whatever. And I'm cool with that because then you can go back and be like, oh, dude, laugh at your shit. Whatever.
Yeah.
Like, but something like that would be so badass. I would love to do something like that because then there would be the visual side because we jump around. We get into it. Like, we like to have fun when we're playing because how can people like move to your music if you're not moving to it? I never understood that. Like, if you're just like, yeah, whatever, I want to see people tearing each other apart. Like,
yeah, dude.
Get into it and jam hard as hell.
There's no bigger bummer than seeing a band that you like and they don't give a fuck.
American football, dude. When I saw American football live, the vibe was off, man. Like, I was so hyped to go see them, and they're just standing completely still with their guitar. Oh my god, it was so bad. Like, I hate that.
I saw, it was years ago, but this is when I realized that it bugged me. I saw Jimmy World.
No,
and
my boys.
And the drummer, everybody else was into it, but the drummer was just like, I don't give a shit.
He's just like, this is my
and of course,
day job.
As a drummer, I'm always watching the drummer. I can't help but watch the drummer nonstop, you know? So I'm focused on him, and he's just like going through the motions of like, oh, this is such a bummer, dude.
Yeah,
you know?
Sucks. Like, you guys made it, and you're not having fun.
You're not having fun up there, dude?
Dude, evidently enough, Jimmy World is my favorite show I've ever seen live. It was them and Incubus at Red Rocks. It might have just been the venue, dude.
Probably Red Rocks.
But oh my god, they sounded huge, dude. And like, I think they had just put, was it Futures out? I forgot what album. They had just dropped like their latest album or whatever.
Oh, okay.
And like, it was so good. them and Incubus together. Just do you jam Incubus at all? Or you ever like listen?
I like Science.
Oh, that's my favorite record, dude.
It was gnarly,
Best
dude.
record.
And then
Oh
they
my
went
God.
radio pop, which I get. I mean, make your money,
Morning
but
View was the decline, but they had some like Light Grenades was a good fucking record, and so is Crow Left of the Murder. But like
yeah,
Science is untouched gold, dude. Like, and it
because there was
pisses me
nothing
off.
like that at the time.
No.
there was nothing like that.
No, and it's funny because people. I love Incubus. I'm like, you jam Science? Like,
What's that? Yeah.
Oh, it makes me so mad. I'm just like, you only listen to Morning View. That's it. That's all you've ever heard. And I get it. Like, people want to do acid and listen to something. Like,
Yeah.
I'm trying to get some aggression out, or like, but it's like funky. It's like if I don't like Red Hot Chili Peppers. Hot take.
No,
But,
no,
like,
I'm with you on that. I, mean, I like
Yeah.
that one album. I like Blood Sugar Sex Magic. Great.
Yeah.
I don't like the order of the tracks. That bums me out. But that album's great. Everything else,
There's
Jesus.
nothing worse than the flow of a CD being bad too. Like,
Yeah,
that's
there-
the thing where it's just like I don't know. I hate that too.
It makes a big difference. A lot of people like I'll just put 1, 2, just stack them however
Yeah.
however you recorded them and stuff. But
See,
no,
if we go back and redux this album, because there was some things that I did want to go back and change, but we just didn't have time. It was like a time crunch. But I wanted to do little like skits in between songs and like
Okay.
just stuff like that, because I remember listening to albums like Wu-Tang, for example. Dude, 36 Chambers, like all the little skits in between, they're like running up like, hey, the cops are coming, we need to get out, like
Yeah.
shit like that is just immersive to the record. Like,
Yeah.
you're in it, you're just like in the middle of a song, and then you're like, oh shit, we're getting pulled up on right now, like what's going on? Like, I wanted to do little stuff like that where it was kind of like you hear a door open, someone's walking in, and it's like turning on a cassette, and then that's like the beginning, like little skit stuff like that, or like sample shit. But yeah, I didn't do most of the production. I'm kind of learning more production, so like this next time that we record our next LP, I guess I'll have more influence on that side of like doing what's going full on the record. Like, I'm
Yeah.
trying to like pick up the pieces and do my own little label thing right now, but until then, I just have so many ideas. Like, it's just all this brain don't stop thinking.
Nah, for sure, man.
Ever.
for sure.
It's a gift and a curse.
Nah, yeah.
For sure.
Well, that's cool, man. Oh, so you got an EP coming up, or you're gonna go record an EP? And so, do you think it's better financially too, but like to do small? Because I know you said you want to do another LP, but as far as like promotions, is it better to do like singles and release that, like EPs, a couple songs and release that and promote that, or the LP is still necessary for a promotional tool?
So in the long run, an LP for sure, but it's like you can't do an LP without dropping a single or like an EP, in my opinion, just because
Yeah.
it's like you have to generate that hype. If you just became a band and you went and recorded a whole studio album, we're like, well, this exists now.
Yeah.
How does anyone know where to go or who you are?
You gotta tease them a bit.
Exactly. Like, you have to play a couple shows, then like, hey, we're gonna go like, okay, game plan. Like, you play your couple gigs, band fund. Now all the money you've been making from those little gigs, put that in band fund. Go hit the studio one time, record one song, and then now you have or even you could do like a fundraiser show. Like, hey, we're gonna go hit the studio. If anyone wants to come donate, we're gonna be playing this show. Pull up, whatever. And then when you put the single out, you're like, hey, does anyone want an EP? Do people like the single, or are we well enough to do an EP? Like, kind of just test the water, like. Because if you put money and time into an EP and nobody cares for it, then you're just out that money. And
Yeah,
stuff. It's
dude.
kind of like you gotta like see, do people even want this?
Yeah.
Like, do people like this music? Because of course I'm gonna like my own music. It's biased as hell, but like, do other people enjoy this? So it's like, kind of put that out, because I wanted to like do a Patreon, because I've always had this idea of doing like a monthly run of merch where like you subscribe to our Patreon and you get like a monthly shirt of like exclusive to that.
Yeah.
There's just so much work that goes into all that shit, but like I feel like it would be cool. It's a good way for people to support the page and something like that. And that's how you know you have people supporting you like directly and stuff. Because I think some musicians can get diluted, like we were talking earlier. Like you just immediately think you got the world on this like pedestal for you when it's no. Like it's not like that at all.
Yeah.
Even if you have had successful bands before and you're like rebranding a new one,
It's new.
you still gotta like
Yeah.
baby step your way back into it. Like you could have clout bringing another like, yeah, I'll have like 10 people pull up and stuff, but that's just like a 10 couple people. You need to regain the whole like following for that new sound you're doing and stuff like that. At least in my experience, that's always how I figured it would be or whatever.
Yeah.
I've wanted to start another project, but time.
Yeah.
Time is just such a thing. I hate it.
It sucks, man. There's not enough time to do all the things that you want to do.
Exactly. Yeah, because I still like I'm a cook too, so I still like work like my day job and stuff, and then I have a screen printing business that me and my homie do for like local bands.
That's
and
dope.
shit. It's fun, dude. Like it's cool because it's fun, and I don't hate it, and like I'm also getting to give back to like the local scene, and they're willing to pay for it. I mean, I'm not charging them a lot or whatever. I'm trying to make it as like minimal because I feel like, dude, like merch shops are gouging super hard lately.
Yeah.
It's like it is a demand, but they upcharge the shit out of stuff because they know people need it.
Yeah.
So they're just
People
like,
will pay for it too.
like, oh, you want this shirt with your logo on it, right? Well,
Yeah.
you're gonna pay this much for it. I'm like, dude, I hate that. Like, it's upsetting. So it's like, where can we make that stop happening? We'll cut out the middleman and just fucking, because that's my whole thing. Is like, if you supply us shirts, I'll charge you even less. Like, I'll fucking. That's money less that I have to spend on going and buying the shirts and
Yeah.
shit. So you're just buying the ink and the labor at that point. So
That's pretty dope, man.
yeah, I love it though. It's the best way to like, it's the most gratifying way to use art and like a utility way of like putting it on shirts
Yeah.
that people are gonna wear and stuff like that.
What's the company called? The screen
The
printing?
Steps. I'm not even wearing any of my shit.
The Steps?
The Steps. Yeah,
Okay.
that's the name of the company. Our screen printing. We eventually want to do like embroidery and stuff too. And I want to do like a label thing out of it, or like a booking agency type thing, because I already book shows all the time, and like I don't ever have like a name to be like booked by Medusa Complex or whatever. But it's like
Yeah.
we're not playing this gig, but Medusa Complex booked it.
Yeah.
So it's like the Steps booked it or whatever. That's like our little tag thing. Because I always have touring bands hitting me up and they're like, where can we go? And I'll just like pipeline them, like, hit up this guy, or I got you. I'll give you a date right here. So
Yeah.
any touring bands hit me up. I'll
That's dope,
definitely
man.
put y'all on a bill or something.
That's dope. You got a lot going on, man. You got the band, the screen printing,
Yeah, it's a lot, but it's
the
fun.
booking
I'm
agency.
enjoying it. It keeps me busy. It
Yeah.
keeps me from going insane. So.
No, I get that, man. You gotta stay busy, or else you get lost in your thoughts, and nobody wants that.
Exactly. That's the last place I'm trying to be.
Yeah,
So
man.
yeah, it's definitely something that's keeping me occupied, and I'm grateful for it. So if you ever need shirts, man,
For
you
sure,
know
man.
what's
For
up.
sure. I'm actually thinking about that.
Yeah,
but
this logo too. That's tight. I could definitely probably pull that
nice,
for
man.
sure.
Nice. Well, thanks for doing this, man. It was nice to fucking meet you
Of course,
finally.
man. Likewise,
Yeah, dude. It was great to
Super
talk
tight.
to you about music and stuff. So again, anything you want to promote? All the things that you got going on. If you want to hit him with that.
Yeah, so Medusa Complex Essay again on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all the platforms, We're going to be doing a split EP hopefully this summer with a bunch of other DIY bands. Just Fine, Sleep Schedule, Casanova Flip, Victory Lap. Trying to just get a big thing going for the summer, have a fun emo thing go off or whatever. So we're hitting the studio in San Antonio College this Tuesday. Yeah. And we'll be done recording in like 2 weeks. So there'll be stuff. Hit up our page. That's
Nice,
where you'll
man.
see all that stuff at.
Nice, man. Thanks for coming by, dude.
Yeah, dude. Appreciate it. man.
latest.
Thanks, dude.
You know, we